Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Chickenz here, back again with the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity video. Today we'll continue our Future Champion mini-series, and today we'll be taking a look at Riju, the Gerudo Chief from the future. If you played the game already, you know that Riju mainly attacks using her Sandal Patricia, and she also uses some lightning in some of her attacks, but not as frequently as her Moveset does. But opening up her attack menu though, here we can see all of her attack combos and abilities. We'll go over each one of these as usual, and I'll be showing you what all of these do. But before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more guides like this, and also make sure to give the video a like if you watched it and found it helpful. But other than that, let's get this video started by taking a look at her basic abilities. Riju's first basic ability is her first dash attack, which is done by sprinting and pressing Y. If you tap CR right before you do this, however, you can get a slight boost to this dash attack's range and power. Also, if you quickly tap Y again after the first dash attack, instead of repeating the same animation, Riju and Patricia will instead be launched into the air and then slide back into the ground, doing extra damage to enemies. Her second dash attack is done by sprinting and pressing X. For this one, Riju will circle around Patricia, doing damage to any enemies she hits, and like the last one, if you press ZR right before you use it, you can power up this dash attack. The powered up version will increase the range of this attack, as well as surround Riju with a small whirlwind as she circles around Patricia. Riju's unique action is to allow Patricia to rampage. This unique action will speed up Riju's sprint but make it a little bit harder to turn, and it also acts as a dash attack that can be used indefinitely, as Patricia will damage any enemies that she comes in contact with. However, this unique action is also useful for grouping up large amounts of enemies into small areas and then finishing them off with some of Riju's attacks. Next up we have Riju's weak point smash animations. Riju's weak point smash has no additional effects besides the damage it normally does to bosses. And lastly, for Riju's special attack, she'll put on the Thunder Helm and release a huge storm of lightning around her like her Moveset does, which will do huge damage to all enemies within a wide area. Now moving on to the Sheikah Runes, and first we'll start with Cryonis. So for Riju's Cryonis, she'll spawn a Cryonis block directly in front of her, which you can move around with Patricia by pressing X after it spawns. You'll then have the opportunity to press X again while Patricia is pushing it to send it flying forward. For her bomb rune, Riju's bomb rune is identical to her Bosa's. Whenever she uses it, she'll throw a bomb slightly in front of her and then use the explosion the bomb creates to launch herself mid-air. Riju's Magnesis will have her attract all metal objects into a ball in front of her. Then once they're all there, she'll put on the Thunder Helm and strike around the metal weapons with 3 lightning bolts. And lastly, her stasis will freeze all nearby enemies, and once they're frozen, Riju and Patricia will circle around enemies and do damage to them with some lightning attacks. And you can also cancel out this animation by just pressing B and just do normal combos instead. Now that we've covered the Sheikah Runes and basic abilities, it's time to move on to her attack combos. The first one, like always, is the basic 7 Ys combo, in which Riju and Patricia will team up and do some regular attacks. Also, if you enhance her ability, the last Y will surround Riju with a lightning bubble that will damage any enemies that come in contact with it. Her second combo is her YX combo. For this combo, Riju will do a regular attack with Patricia, and then her strong attack will spawn 2 Gerudo warriors next to her. Then these 2 Gerudo warriors will hit the ground with their golden claymores and create a huge explosion in front of Riju. Combo number 3 is the YYX combo. For this one, Riju will do 2 regular attacks, followed by a strong attack that will launch her into the air, and then she'll slam back into the ground, causing a small shockwave around her that will damage nearby enemies. Our fourth combo is our 3Ys and X combo. This combo will have Riju do 3 regular attacks, followed by a strong attack where Riju will ride around with Patricia and send lightning bolts down around her. You'll also be prompted to repeatedly press X, which will increase the duration of this attack. Combo number 5 is the 4Ys and X combo. Riju will do 4 regular attacks, followed by a strong attack that will launch a mini tornado in front of her. And our last combo is combo 6, which is done with 5 Ys and an X. For this combo, Riju will do 5 regular attacks, followed by a strong attack which she will spawn 4 Gerudo warriors on sand seals next to her, that will then ride out forward and damage enemies within a huge area. Alright, now moving on to our quick tips section, and first we'll start by going over my plan for her weapon build. So Riju's kit is really heavily based on utilizing Patricia's Rampage and her dash attack, and in order to maximize her strengths as a character, I think that having 3 special attack charge rates and 1 dash attack damage seal will be the best. The 3 special attack charges are there so Riju will get her special back super fast while rampaging from place to place with Patricia, and the dash attack damage is there to increase her dash attacks, which she'll be using a lot. You could also choose to swap the two, instead use 3 dash attacks and 1 special attack charge rate, but I prefer the other combination in my opinion. I'm also using this specific combination as well so it can match up with her hidden seals and get the plus 20 damage increase on her weapon as well. For combat tips, my first one is to always be using Patricia's Rampage. Not only does it make you faster, but it allows for Riju to do damage to enemies while she's moving, as well as group them up to finish them off later. In order to finish these enemies off, they're usually going to be pretty weak at the end of her Rampage, so you can either choose to use her YY dash attack or her YX combo to finish them off in one hit. Alternatively, you can also choose to spam her X dash attack while you're moving around as well. This won't get you as many KOs, but it's still pretty decent at charging your special meter. So if you're using either of these methods, the whole time you're doing them, Riju's special will be constantly charging. And if you have the seals I have, all 3 of your specials will be charged relatively quickly. Then once you reach wherever you're headed with Riju, just use all 3 specials to quickly take an outpost or shred through a boss. I pretty much just rinse and repeat with this strategy whenever I'm playing as Riju, and I feel like it's the best way to utilize her really unique kit. For combo usage, I think that combos 2, 4, and 6 are the best for taking on large amounts of enemies, and then combo 5 is probably your best bet for taking on bosses and draining their weak point gauge. Overall though, I think that Riju's a pretty good and unique character. She has a really unique kit and fits a niche with her moveset being mostly centralized around dash attacks that no other character can really fill. Daruk kinda tries to fill this role with his Goron roll and his magma ramps, but he doesn't even come close to doing it as well as Riju does. She's really good at crowd control and taking on large groups of enemies, but one of her hindrances as a character is taking on the bosses. She doesn't really have any good combos for reliably damaging and draining weak point gauges on bosses besides her combo 5. We can usually get around this by just spamming her special whenever she takes on bosses. I don't think she's a good pick on smaller maps. You can only choose 1 to 2 characters, but on the larger maps you can choose around 3 to 4 and there's a lot of movement available. She seems to be a very viable supporting character. But those are just my thoughts on her. Let me know in the comments what you think about her moveset, or feel free to share any strategies or tips you have when playing as her. But that is going to wrap up the video for today, guys. Those are all of the abilities and attack combos for Riju. Next up, we'll finish off the featured champions by covering Yunobo, and then after that I'll move on to covering the other unlockable characters during the main story. I already put up a poll for the next 3 I'm about to cover, so make sure to go vote if you have any preference on which ones I do first. But other than that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more Age of Calamity and Zelda related content, and also make sure to like the video if you found it helpful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.